So, just as a forward, I am going to be recording this, me talking to you guys and recapping what happened because I just want to save time. I don't want to end stream and restream after I upload to YouTube or whatever, and also do a quick post on the website. So bear with me after we are finished with this recording session. So let's recap. We just finished the 2021 Global Reveal event, and I made a list of the most important things, or rather the most significant things that we watched together on the stream, and you can see the trailer playing in the background. You can find that trailer on YouTube or whatever. Alright, so first thing on the list, I know you guys have a lot of questions, I know you guys have a lot of worries and concerns, so we'll kind of tackle that towards the end. So if you have any, I'll let you guys know when in chat while I prepare to upload to YouTube as well while we're streaming. Okay, so first thing on the list, on the recap. More developers. So if you have not been keeping up with ZeniMax Online Studios on their social media like Twitter, you probably wouldn't have noticed that they are hiring more devs, actually. I think they actually got to... they snagged somebody from Blizzard. So that's pretty significant. They are definitely hiring more people for content and what I assume to be performance. And they did mention that they are going to be replacing. They're not upgrading, they're replacing all their servers in terms of hardware and infrastructure. But they did take a note that it may not affect in-game performance, which was kind of a hype killer. I think that was the most exciting thing I heard up until that point. New servers. So, but we'll see what happens, and it's gonna take over the course of this year. So it's not gonna be immediate. They're not gonna swap out the hardware and everything in one day. It's probably gonna take a process of about a year. All right. Third thing. I don't know why I wrote this down, but I saw this big giant frog, and they were like giant man-eating frogs. There's gonna be an overland zone. The chapter name is Blackwood. The upcoming Q1 DLC, the PTS for which is tomorrow, by the way, on Wednesday instead of next week, Monday, which was surprising as well, is called Fire's Ambition. Two notable locations and two notable factions: Leowyn, Gideon, and the Ivory Brigade and the Argonian Legion, or something into that effect. This is going to be the same year-long format, which means same as Elsewhere's, Greymoor, whatever. It's going to be Q1 DLC, Q2 chapter with a 12-man trial. I think somebody mentioned the trial name. I forget, something to do with a rock or whatever. Q3 is also going to be a DLC. Q4 is going to be a story DLC, which I assume is going to come with a separate zone, just like with 2019-2020 with Greymoor and Elsewhere. Okay, let's see. And a huge significant thing that I really liked about their reveal is the in-game organized story starts. This is they showed it off. I could try to look for like an image of it, but it looked like a room with these doors or portals showing the DLC images or DLC like wallpaper. You can choose which zone to go first, which story to start with, and this is a really significant thing, not just for new players, but also for players like me. I've always wanted to play ESO. I've introduced ESO to my in-game, like in real life friends, but when we start playing together, they're like, "Oh, where do I go?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're supposed to be here at Davin's watching." No, I'm fucking off in Morrowind or whatever, right? So yeah, this is a pretty good way of starting off new players. Also, starting off new players with their friends who have been playing ESO. So I'm pretty excited about this part. Next gen clients. So a lot of players have already told me from PlayStation 4 and Xbox One or slash Series XS that the current clients that people are playing on, even on the new gen consoles, they're still the old client versions. So we're not actually playing on the next gen clients. They did mention the next gen clients, though. They didn't give an ETA on the next gen clients, but Rich said it's gonna be like it's running really smoothly, like really well. He emphasized that really a lot. So is it gonna be like god tier performance on consoles? I'm sure a lot of console players after this past year are pretty skeptical. PS players are always complaining about blue screens. Xbox players are complaining about FPS or whatever. So I'm actually kind of curious as to what they'll do with the next gen clients. Companions. Okay, so this was a big thing that they kept talking about over and over, right? And companions is basically these companions you can get. I think they said through the Crown Store or whatever. You can level them up. You can assign them a combat role, like a tank, DPS, or healer, I guess, and you can gear them out. Now, I'm just like kind of confused about this part because they said, you know, you probably won't have companions. You'll probably have companions everywhere. Oh my god, that was fucking loud. We're recording a video. So they're gonna have companions everywhere except maybe PvP. So that's a keyword, maybe. It implies first that they're considering adding companions to serial PvP or something. Maybe, hopefully not. Secondly, that implies that they're gonna cover a lot of PvE. I don't know if companions are only gonna be limited to just overland content or overland zones, right? What if they're in trials? What if they're in dungeons? Like, this is kind of a significant thing. I don't think they'll be in trials. I mean, I just don't know what the extent to which this goes. Can I give my Yonakrin and Alkash to my companion and have him maintain Yonakrin or Navitas or Zamaja? Damn, you know what I mean? Like what's going on here?
Tank mains are crying in fear everywhere.
You know, you know what's going on here with the companions? I don't think they'll be allowed in trials. Probably not solo arenas, because that kind of defeats the purpose of solo arenas. They haven't really mentioned dungeons. I have a feeling that they will be in dungeons. I don't know why I get this feeling that they're going to be in dungeons, you know what I mean? Because, you know why I think they're going to be in dungeons? Because a lot of people always complain on the forums or wherever else about I can't find people or the group finder is broken or whatever, and you know, like I like to solo dungeons. There's a lot of content creators out there, wonderful content creators by the way, like Hack the Minotaur and Zyno, who even Outcast make solo builds for dungeons. So maybe dungeons will see companions. Who fucking knows, dude? Right? That'd be interesting. But I don't think I'd want them in trials or PvP. Yeah, I don't know about trials or PvP or solo arenas or even group arenas, but dungeons, I can see that for dungeons. And I don't know about I don't really have a I don't know, like, whatever. Anyway, PTS Wednesday. It is tomorrow. Unfortunately, I will not be able to stream PTS tomorrow. In fact, I won't be streaming much except the Godslayer raid with Berserk tomorrow night, because I am very busy tomorrow. Very important thing, actually. I don't want to say anything about this important matter just yet. But maybe I'll tell you guys at the end of the stream. Alright, so anyway, PTS tomorrow. I thought it was going to be Monday. I thought a lot of us thought it was going to be Monday, but it's going to be Wednesday. It's going to be tomorrow. You're going to be able to see every single thing on the public test server tomorrow. In fact, if you haven't done so, just open up your ESO client right now and just let it open and just leave it open, because it should automatically start downloading. Gina said around noon-ish. Probably expected anywhere between 12 to 3 p.m. looking at the past history of PTS servers or public test servers. Okay, so 2 new DLC dungeons in quarter 1. The Cauldron is going to be a dungeon located in the zone of Deshan or Deshan, however you want to pronounce it. We took a look at it. Nothing too special or standoutish about it. I mean, DLC dungeons. I hope that the DLC dungeons are a bit more challenging. I don't think the Cauldron will be challenging, because the Cauldron was like, what is it? 5 bosses, but 1 hard move for the last one. So I think they're basically following the format of Stonethorn, where Stone Garden was I don't know if Stone Garden is actually harder. I feel like Castle Thorn's harder, especially the last boss hard mode, but we'll see what the difficulty is like. Black Drake Villa is going to be the Gold Coast dungeon. And that looked like 3 bosses and 1 hard mode, so we'll see what happens with these 2 dungeons. We did actually get to see a... Sorry. We did get to see one of the sets that comes from these dungeons that Finn showed off on the stream, so let me show you right here. Full Killer. It's a heavy armor set. So it's gonna add armor, more mitigation. Adds max health. Yeah, sorry, I misspoke. 3 bosses, 3 armors. The 5-piece bonus is activating block while in combat places a damage shield on you and up to 3 group members within 18 meters for 2 seconds. That absorbs up to 4,000 direct damage if a damage shield breaks. The wearer of the shield restores 5,680 magic and stamina. Two things about this. It does occur once every 30 seconds if a shield breaks, and the effect occurs once every 10 seconds and no damage for you. My initial thoughts on this, it's not gonna be the one of the more interesting sets. And let's see, where was I? Oh yeah. I don't know. It doesn't look like a very interesting set. Second thing I want to take a note about this is gonna be that this could be affected by the dev stats. So he was on God mode while showing this off, so the stats could be different. I don't know if it's too different for the return. I don't know if that affects it. We'll see. I don't know. We'll have to wait for PTS. And there is going to be, let's see. Yeah, we got over this up. Fast traveling out of home. So right now, if you log into ESO, you port to your house. You have to port to somebody outside of your house to get a free port for free, right? But now I think you can fast travel out of homes. I don't know how they're gonna do this. I don't know if this is gonna be like a way shrine inside the house. So we'll see what happens. Also, huge thing too for a lot of us endgame players. The ethereal well furniture, excuse me, I knocked my mic. I freaked out about this because this has been requested since the beginning of time. This has been requested since fucking Clockwork City DLC, right? Ethereal well furniture, restore ultimate and other resources. So you can use this furnishing. There's a furnishing right now, and I was surprised. I found about this recently. There's a furnishing out now that actually reduces your vamp stage. And I was thinking to myself, like, that seems more complicated to put out than just hitting something or using something to restore your ultimate. But they're gonna actually introduce a ethereal well furniture that will restore your ultimate and other resources, meaning health, magic, and stamina. So no more building ultimate before you port back into the trial for your God Slayer or No Death or Speedrun. No more building ultimate before you meet up with your friends for a quick dungeon. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I love that. I love that addition to the game. All right, now something that a lot of people were freaking out about. I was watching the Bethesda Twitch chat. I was keeping an eye on my Discord servers. A lot of people were freaking out about CP 2.0, right? So right now what we have is CP 1.0, the very old CP system we've had since 2015, 2016. So it's been a very long time. I mean, since 2016 or so, we've been steadily raising the cap, and eventually we stopped at 810 CP, and that cap has never been raised once since. It's been like 3 years basically, guys. And you know, so many people have been asking for the CP to be revamped or something, anything, for the past several years. So it was kind of funny to me that so many people were like scared about it or like freaking out about it. Like, what do you expect? You guys have been wanting a revamp or update for like fucking 3 years. And my thoughts on this. So let's go over the facts. CP 2.0. So there are no more extra stats at 300 CP anymore, but you get them once you hit level 50. Right now you have to hit CP 300 to get the base extra stats you get for your health, magic, and stamina. So that's a great change in my opinion. That's more new player friendly, and honestly, I don't know why they didn't do that earlier. CP 2.0, a lot of people also mentioned like, oh, they mentioned performance, but it seems like they're gonna add a lot of stuff that could break the game or whatever. But CP 2.0, just from what they said, and also just looking at the system, and yes, you know, the class reps were aware of this, and obviously I'm not gonna get into a lot of details here because I don't know if I don't want to break a non-disclosure agreement or at the NDA. But the CP 2.0, I'm very, very excited for it, and the only thing that seems to like freak people out right now about it is the fact that it's uncapped at 3600 CP. And I think someone in chat earlier mentioned like, oh, now people are gonna only want 3600 CP or 2000 CP DPS in their groups. But if any of you were attentive enough when looking at what they were showing off on stream, let me pull it up. Right, there's this champion point bar up above on the constellations. Basically, you have to click and drag the things you want into this. If you notice, there's a limit of 4 per tree. Right, so even if you have 3,600 champion points, how are you gonna fit all that, onto the ability bar? So they obviously put some thought into this, and they did eliminate. And one huge thing I forgot to put on here is that they eliminated jump points. No more jump points. And jump points is a pretty esoteric, get it, ESO, esoteric thing that I've hated for years. Like when the tooltip says, oh, it's 1.80%, I assume as a new player it's giving me 1.80% instead of just 1%. Or if it's at 24.9%, it should be giving me like 24.9%. It's not giving you 24.9. It just rounds down. So no jump points. Hooray! Honestly, who fucking ray? No more fucking jump points. God damn! Finally, some good fucking champion points. All right, so no extra stats at 300 CP anymore. No jump points. It's gonna be flat amounts, as we can see here. There's gonna be obviously unique perks and passives like Occult Overload. And they did mention that they brought over a lot of the perks from CP 1.0 into CP 2.0, and they did mention that this is going to be a new system for a new expandable system to bring in to continually update over the however many years ESO is going to be up. Right. Overall, my thoughts on this: you guys need to stop freaking out about you guys need to stop freaking out about the 3600 CP thing. It's not. You're probably not gonna need realistically more than like, I don't know. I would say like, depending on how the math works out, you'd be fine with like 1,000, maybe, something like that. I don't know exactly. PTS, we'll see. I just don't think people should be freaking out. You know what I mean? But that's all I have to say about it. I'm pretty excited because the CP 2.0 system. I'm like the only people who should be freaking out about this system is me, Anton Sean, Outcast, and Wooler. You goddamn know why? we gotta update all this. We gotta update all the champion points, and we gotta like do all the guides. Like it's a lot because it's gonna change a lot in terms of like content creation. Like at what CP do I say okay you can tank, or at what CP? How much CP should it allocate? It's gonna be everywhere. I think it's gonna be everywhere. It's just gonna be everywhere for content creation. It's gonna be a headache for me, probably. It's gonna be a headache for Outcast. God damn, like all the website work. So there's a lot to freak out about, but for a content creator. But there's also a lot of things to be excited for because a lot of people, I don't know, these delusional people are like, oh, there's gonna be a new class. And I'm just like, are you fucking joking right now, motherfucker? Like, what? Okay, here's the thing. Just treat the CP system as like the master volume, right? Why would you bother changing all the little volumes or sub-volumes like classes or races when you need to change the master volume? Now, finally, the CP 2.0 system, with this, we can finally start discussing new class, maybe a new race. We can finally start discussing actual PvP, PvE gameplay balance. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but PvE/PvP game balance, combat balance, has been absolutely god-awful for the past 2 years, I would say. You know what I mean? So now that we've gotten the CP system in place, I feel like as not just content creators, but also as players, we can start discussing classes. We can now finally, the class reps can finally start discussing classes or whatever, even more, right? There's no more huge barrier. Now we can talk about, okay, does this crystal frag proc to our Y? Okay, let's look at this factor, let's look at the CP, and let's rebalance it. So there's a lot of exciting things here. It does seem very overwhelming. It does seem like a lot of changes. But also one thing I want to point out is, I like the fact that they are introducing all this in Update 29 instead of Update 30 with a new chapter. I feel like that would have been even more overwhelming. So that's just one bonus thing I would take away from that. Okay, so next thing we want to talk about, I will take questions. I am recording a video for YouTube, so bear with me. Harvin's Extended Stats. This is an add-on that I used in the past to see things like penetration, resistances. Where is it? Is it over here? No, hold on. Yeah, here we go. They showed it here. So resistances, stats, penetration, sprint cost. A lot of people actually asked me during the stream about this. What is this? What is earth resistance or whatever? I think those are just things that NPCs do, or they just like kind of there in the system that hasn't really been touched with too much. But yeah, now we get to see a lot more details, and this is perfect not just for console players who don't have add-ons, but this is perfect for PC players who never even knew about this kind of stuff. And finally, this does, as they mentioned, make it easier for certain content creators. Just open up the window and be like, here's my stats. And you can also even check on your block cost. No more going to a website to check, oh, how much stam am I getting out of putting 3 cost enchantments on my bar. So there's a lot of cool quality of life improvements. The only thing I'm disappointed about, I would say, is that they didn't really... I do really hope that they revamp the in-game buff and debuff tracker, and also add like an in-game action duration reminder, not just for console players, but also for PC players. But otherwise, things are looking great. Things are looking pretty damn great. So that's one great thing. So, armor penalties and bonuses. So this is something a lot of people also had questions about. I think, yeah, here we go. So I believe, yeah, so we're going to see this on PTS tomorrow, that there are armor bonuses / penalties. Again, I don't want to get into big specific detail because NDA. But here we see that light armor bonuses, for example, you have reduced damage taken from magical attacks by 1%. It reduces the cost of roll dodge by 3%, increases movement speed while sneaking by 5%, reduces the cost of break free by 5%, reduces the cost of bash by 3%. And I didn't take a screenshot of what they were saying about the heavy armor pass bonus and penalties, but I don't think you need to put a skill point into these. I think they're just like there for passives. Zoom in, bro, can't reach it. Here you go. Anyway, what was I saying? Right, so there's going to be bonuses and penalties. And this is going to be pretty interesting, I feel like. I feel like they're not significant enough to really affect, like, completely affect everything, but I am worried about the potential for their effect on perhaps PvP. I don't think PvE will really matter, but because it's sort of like roleplay at the same time, and I do like how they are going back to the Elder Scrolls roots about, okay, well, if you're wearing this specific type of armor, then yeah, you're gonna experience this kind of stuff. And thanks, Skating Cheats, for linking that. Let me look at the heavy bonuses. Alright, yeah. Each piece of heavy armor does the following. It reduces damage taken from martial attacks. I don't know why they said martial attacks, but that's physical. By 1%. Increases the amount of damage blocked by 1%. Increases damage done bash by 3%. Reduces your damage taken while immune to crowd control by 2%. Yeah, again, like, I just don't think it's gonna be a huge thing for PvE. I think it might affect PvP to an extent. But again, we'll have to test. We'll see what players break and do. Because again, it's players have always surprised everyone. And there's medium as well. Alright. Okay, so we have medium armor bonuses. There's no penalties for medium armor, and that's kind of what I'm also touching on in terms of PvP, because it's like, well, there's no penalty for medium, but there's penalty for light and heavy. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how the gameplay balance works out, because it's just bonuses for medium armor, like 1% cost reduction, 5% sneak cost reduction, block cost reduction is reduced by 3%, which is, I guess, okay. I mean, thematically, it makes sense, but okay. Reduces damage taken from area effect attacks by 2% for 2 seconds after you use roll dodge. Again, these percentages don't really seem enough to significantly affect things. I could see it, again, to an extent, affecting PvP. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. This is something we just have to, like, play with and test. Okay, so next thing. on the recap. PvP updates. This is a fun one. So, more performance tests. I know a lot of people dreaded and absolutely hated the last round of PvP performance tests in regards to the AoEs. Right? I would hope everyone remembers that. A lot of people quit during that too, which was unfortunate. But basically, I made a couple videos on this on YouTube. The conclusion of the test was basically, we couldn't find the actual cause. Basically, like they just said we need more tests, and that's what they said during the stream. We went back to the drawing board. And so the upcoming performance test is gonna be, getting rid of item set procs. All right, who's excited for that one? Oh man. Anyway, yeah, so item set procs will be disabled in open world Cyrodiil, but that does mean you can still use them in Battlegrounds. PvP, you can use them in Imperial City. They'll just be disabled in Cyrodiil because, you know, you don't really see too many performance issues in Battlegrounds or Imperial City compared to open world PvP, right? And I like the fact that they're keeping the 12-person cap to, you know, discourage ball groups. Item sets that affect abilities include seducers. They mentioned seducers, and I was like, okay, so seducers will be disabled, I guess. All right. Anyway, so this is gonna be a performance test for the month of February, and cross healing re-enabled. According to them, they didn't see too much gain from disabling cross healing. A lot of PvPers and a lot of players, including myself, have always kind of wanted disabled cross healing because it just, like, when you have two ball groups or two large groups just healing the heck out of each other, it's like you would figure it would like cause a lot of issues, but apparently there's no gain in performance from cross healing. So okay, that's good to know. Anyway, last things on the recap list, just events. Mid-Year Mayhem is going to be on the 28th of January. It's in 2 days. I'll see you on the battlefield. And in February, Tribunal Celebration. I don't exactly know what that is. I don't really keep up with events too much, so probably other content creators like Tian Lane or J Hart could probably tell you more about all this. Jester's Festival, of course, yes. And of course, the last biggest thing is going to be you get a pet rock. It will have a similar system to the Indrik system, and I know everyone goddamn hated the Indrik system, me too included. And now you can morph a pet rock each quarter into a skin, mount, personality, and house. I don't really understand what the heck's happening here, but I guess we can expect to, you know, morph a pet into a house. That's pretty interesting, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the recap. Now we can talk about your questions, thoughts, and concerns. And thank you so much for all these follows and subscribes. But I really wanted to focus on the recap first, giving my thoughts, and then now it's your turn to give me the questions and comments. All right, I know a lot of people were asking me about the CP system, and I gave my thoughts on it. Yes, they are changing the CP system. Updating the CP system. It's a complete overhaul, and I'm really, really excited for it. You guys shouldn't be scared of it. You guys should be really excited for it. I'm only scared of it because there's so much work, dude. Maybe we should just, maybe I should just get rid of the website, dude. Let's get rid of the website. Fuck it. Where's Anton? You there, dude? Let's get rid of the website, dude. Can I just stop paying for the server? Let's just get rid of the website. Fuck it. You guys don't need the website, dude. Anyway, yeah. Just get rid of this. But yeah, for ESO University or ESO-U.com, we'll have to like redo this. Oh my god, please fucking kill me. All right. Anyway. Yeah. So any questions? What do I think about companions? I kind of went over it. We just have to see to what extent they're allowed, right? Like, will they be allowed in? I think they'll be allowed in dungeons. I have a feeling. We'll see tomorrow on PTS if I'm right about it or not. But yeah, I think we'll see them in dungeons. I don't know. I don't think trials or arenas or PvP. No way. Do I know anything you can tell us? No, I'm under NDA. I don't know. Like I can tell you that we, the Earth rotates around the sun 365 days. Once every 365 days. What do you think about Rock Grove? So I think someone mentioned that the name of the trial is Rock Grove. It's a 12-man trial coming out with the new chapter Blackwood. What do I think about it? What do you mean? What do I think about it? Like I don't know anything about it. It sounds very rocky. Sounds like we have a rocky road ahead of us. Will companions do your surveys? Will this affect Gotzer in any significant way? Well, the CP update? No, I don't think so. Did they say anything regarding the reward for the new trial trifecta? Are we getting a mount again? They did not say anything about a new trial trifecta reward. I'd imagine that's something, that Finn could probably elaborate on in the future. ESO Live. Second thing, what was it? So a lot of you are kind of worried about the CP still. That you have to get to 3600 CP. Don't know if okay, let me look at this. Yeah, okay, so they got this. Okay, so we can read over this as well. This is gonna be a long video, holy crap. Alright. Let me speed read this. I am speed. Okay. Yes. Power fantasy power. Yes. So they want horizontal progression, as I said, not vertical progression. Some stars, champion bars, 12 total slots. So they're just explaining the slot choices. They didn't really like. They said it on the stream, but they did say they're gonna rescale how many champion points. They said on the stream that they're gonna rescale how many champion points you get, or rather how much XP you need to get a champion point. Obviously, that's gonna need to happen anyway because 3600 CP is a lot, right? But again, you guys should not be worried or scared about the fact that it's uncapped now at 3600 CP. Because there is a limited amount of stuff you can do anyway with probably, 2,000, 1,000 something, right? Armor updates, so they do give a complete list. I'll provide a link in the description, on the YouTube description. Advanced stats, yeah, they went over all this on the stream. But yeah. What was the difference between horizontal and vertical? Well, vertical, think of it like, I guess, World of Warcraft's, right? Or from what I hear about World of Warcraft raiding, like, for World of Warcraft raiding, you wipe to a boss, and you're like, okay, let's just grind up the gear and come back, right? And ESO is kind of like the opposite of that, where you kind of cap out with gear and with champion points, and that just kind of is up to your group level or skill or gameplay. And I much prefer horizontal progression, honestly. Vertical progression, games like BDO and stuff, I don't know about that one. Will the CP changes allow for more class freedoms or be more the same as now? Well, that's one thing I kept talking about. I'm really excited. I'm super excited because this opens up a lot more opportunities to discuss things like that, right? To discuss classes more because again, the gameplay balance has been pretty awful for both PV and PvP. Now that we got the master volume out of the way, which is CP, we can, I think, start talking about the more finer points and details and specifics about class balance, racial passives. We can start talking about sets too, even, or potentially adding a new class. Anyway, I can't believe now the cap is 30. Again, I just would not, like, I keep saying it over and over, I just would not worry about the cap. I just would not, like, seriously. Do you think they'll make CP easier to gain since the cap is now very high? Yeah. They mentioned that they can rescale the XP to how much XP you need to get a champion point, as I said. Would there be a power creep? You know, that's really hard to say. I think in general, there is going to be a power creep because new item sets, or I mean, it's mostly the sets, but new item sets. I mean, companions, dude, companions. You can finally have a friend for your solo dungeon escapades. So technically, it's a power creep. I don't know if it's gonna be in dungeons, but we'll see. I don't know, but I think we'll see a power creep. I think we'll see an increase in power creep. We'll see. Do you think there will be changes to DPS compared to now, thus making current content harder? No. I mean, they even said it. They said we don't want to just flip a magical switch and be like, you can't complete the content you were completing with CP 1.0 with CP 2.0. So I trust them on that one, right? Because they've been working on this for, what, 2 years, they said? Right? So again, I highly doubt people are going to stop being able to clear the content they were clearing before CP 2.0. Asia players, do you think performance improves for us? Well, they did mention that they are getting new servers, or rather new hardware servers. They're going to get a more modern infrastructure. So we'll see what happens on that end. Screw the champion points. Where's the two-person mount? You know, I'm with you there, Brandon. I'm with you there. I have no idea what the companions do. But yes, companions, they said you can level them up, talk to them, gear them out, and set their role. Like, this is the one thing I'm kind of confused about. Set their role. What in-game function requires for you to set a role? Tinfoil hats on. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. In the new system, will I be able to spend all those points into one tree instead of being forced to split them 3 ways? They are still per tree, right? They're your CP should still be divided per tree. From what we saw, it's 1200 max per tree, so it doesn't really change too much in that regard. From what we saw on the stream. When can we replace you in core with an NPC? You can do it tomorrow. Sorry, Nephis, you're no longer tanking for this group. We're having companion do it instead. Yeah, the companion. I'm so curious about the companion thing. Out of all the things on this list, there's 2 things I'm really curious about: companions and where is it? Dude, yeah, the rock, dude. The rock. What? I don't even know how this is gonna. What is this? The rock, the pet rock. You can just morph into a house. Is it gonna be like a portable house, like a trailer? I don't know. But yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna record for YouTube. In the meantime, thanks for watching the recap, and see you next time. Thanks for Nephis and channeling.